Real talk. It seems almost impossible to upload a video or even host a live stream featuring Overwatch without some people lashing out in anger. And that's not necessarily always directed at the content creator. It's the simple fact of the matter that Blizzard has annoyed a lot of their players. In the past couple weeks, I've prioritized making videos that I enjoy making, showing that I can and do have fun playing Overwatch rather than trying to convince people that they are wrong if they don't, because quite frankly, I don't think that they are. There are good reasons to be upset with Overwatch, but it has gotten to a point where it is more controversial to actually have fun than mindlessly hating the game for every misstep they make. Today, as the name of the video implies, I want to take some time to have a bit of a real talk. Rather than splitting all these different subjects and frustrations into separate videos, I want to talk about all of them right here, right now. And I know how popular it is to hate the game these days, but please be aware, when I say real talk, I don't mean ranting about Overwatch talk. I want to cover both sides of the coin, so if you were hoping for a hate train, don't get your hopes up. Now without further ado, let's finally get into it. Is Overwatch really that bad? Yes and no. You see, it's very easy to look at moments like this and get angry. Yeah, I feel like going main... It's not the play. Get angry about random eliminations, get angry about damage creep, get angry about sustain and stall, get angry about CC, and the more jaded you are, the more that probably pisses you off. So why am I not getting mad about that? Well, I am. Just not every single time. I've accepted this as part of the game and sometimes you get randomly fragged. That's just how it is. If you want more intent in your eliminations, then maybe you should be playing something like Apex Legends.
Good job, me. Whole squad down.
Nice try. Reality is that, yes, these things are annoying and yes, they are worth getting mad about if they happen repeatedly, but if you always get hung up on it, then you are tilting yourself out of a potentially really fun time. And there still is fun to be had if you are willing. The reason you never hear about it is because these voices are literally being drowned in all the anger. People don't like the current state of the game and thus they demand that everyone agrees with them. Quite frankly, people who simply have fun playing are too busy enjoying the game to sit in the forums and try to convince somebody that Overwatch really is not that bad. It's a waste of their time. But simultaneously, we cannot deny that problems exist. If we're talking about straight up content 101, then Overwatch really is not doing a good job. Just based off of what we know can work really well in the mainstream and what has proven successful in the competitive scene, we can easily draw parallels highlighting just how bad of a job Blizzard has been doing with Overwatch in the past few years. It does not seem to be as much about loving the game for what it is than loving it despite its flaws. Some of us have a higher tolerance for bullcrap and others cannot handle much of it at all. The biggest problem I see is that both the sides are really not wrong. Yes, there is a lot of fun to be had in Overwatch if you are willing, but yes, there's also a lot very wrong with the game. My personal best course of action is not letting the annoying things spill over and sour my mood for all the fun things. But if we are considering that players have been watching Blizzard make really poor decisions for 3 years, then I can definitely understand where all of that anger is coming from. Is Overwatch actually dying? Honestly, I don't know. In fact, nobody knows aside of Blizzard themselves. There have been a lot of rumors going around surrounding Overwatch 2, and some people point at that as the reason that they've been under-supporting the current game. And there are a lot of things we can point at that explain why there's been so incredibly much spam when it comes to the claim that Overwatch is dying. Because here's what you have to understand. If the general community perception is already negative, then those players are going to use anything as a catalyst to make it look even worse, and sometimes even unintentionally. Here is a fact. I have been getting longer queue times as of recently. If I had a really bad case of confirmation bias, then I could be feeling like that is a clear indication of the game losing popularity. Here's another fact. Overwatch League on Twitch has been underperforming this stage. As recently as a month ago, OWL was rarely dropping below 100k concurrent viewers just after the first match has started. Now, 50 to 80k has been the norm, even on the weekends. And the chat has slowed down considerably, pointing at many viewers AFKing for League tokens. Is that a reason for me as a player to be worried? Not necessarily, because historically speaking, Blizzard has a pretty good track record of supporting their games in the long term. Sure, the line between Activision and Blizzard is getting thinner by the year, but all I can base my own feelings off of is well, historical precedent, which might or might not matter to you and your feelings. I know that I'm not in the most populated skill bracket in Overwatch, and as such I have to expect longer queue times than your average Andy that only plays a few hours per week. Furthermore, queue times have not increased to the point where I am actually waiting way too long to find a match, so it has not been a big deal to me so far. But when it comes to OWL, honestly I want to watch more of it, but they have added so many new teams and so many more matches per day that, as an EU viewer, the matches that I care to watch are usually in the middle of the night, and I just can't justify staying up all night to watch the event. And that, to me, has been more frustrating than the fact that they are still playing primarily GOATs. But naturally, that does not mean that people haven't stopped watching because they are bored of the meta. It's just why I specifically can't watch as much as I want to. I don't know why we, as the gaming community, are so obsessed with the idea of popularity, and I obviously include myself when I say that. Why are we so determined to call every game dead only because it's not Fortnite? But the real question that I ask myself today is not if Overwatch is dying, but instead, does it matter to me? If I can still comfortably find matches and end up having fun, does it matter that my favorite game is not trying to compete with Fortnite? Well, that's something that I think more people should ask themselves. What about competitive play? Our current competitive ladder simply is what it is. If you ask me, we have to stop pointing fingers at each other and simply accept that all the kicking and screaming we have done in the past few years was not enough for Blizzard to change anything. That doesn't mean that our criticism is not warranted. When people say that Overwatch Comp is one of the worst competitive ladders they have ever seen in a AAA game, then I am inclined to agree. From a competitive standpoint, it's simply very poorly designed, and the devs have come out to make clear that they do not take the game mode as seriously as we would like them to, hinting at quotes along the lines of "sitting down and play competitive to relax after work." I think we can see very clearly what direction they were heading. Smurfing should be unacceptable. Roll queue should have been in the game a long time ago. 2-2 enforcement takes way too long for them to implement, and nobody should be allowed to queue unranked if they do not intend to win and give their best in every single match. The best thing we can hope for to achieve a truly competitive experience in Overwatch will be a completely new game mode. Stop hoping that the devs will fix our ladder, because if they had any intention to do so, they would have done it a long time ago. I do not subscribe to the idea that the players are ruining the game. It's the fact that the devs are okay with them doing so. It's their responsibility to enforce a decent set of rules. All I'm saying is, it's not a pretty thing to do, but lower your expectations according to what the game mode is, rather than what you want it to be. So what's the takeaway? For me, Overwatch is in equal parts annoying and fun. I agree that many of the additions that have been made to the game are not exactly healthy, but I also don't want them to take away from the things that I still enjoy. GOATS is a boring meta, Paris is a terrible map, the skins have largely been very mediocre, balance patches are almost hilariously bad while taking forever to be implemented, and new content seems to be a foreign concept to the Overwatch devs. I can subscribe to all of these things, but when something funny happens, then well, something funny happens. I will not let the fact that all these things I mentioned above bother me take away from the fact that I'm still enjoying enough of the game to keep coming back. But that is not a mindset that everyone can share. At the end of the day, I don't want people who are inherently frustrated to try and take away from the fun that I and others are still having in the game. Because seriously, what the hell are you trying to achieve? Only because you are feeling bitter about it does not mean that I have to. I can agree to things being handled poorly while still enjoying other aspects of the game. And what reason do I have to lie about it? Blizzard has literally never even acknowledged that I exist, whether I criticize or praise them. Hell, looking at their track record, I would not be surprised if they blacklisted my channel for all the times I was moaning about the game. I personally just don't want to be consumed by anger and frustration anymore, which is why I've stopped bringing up the same issues over and over again. That does not mean that I no longer think that there are actual problems that should be addressed, it just means that I find my time better spent showing people that I'm still having fun in the game, at least when it comes to my channel. Privately, I'm splitting my time between Overwatch and Apex Legends. Yes, I get angry at Overwatch if I play it too much, in the same way I get bored of Apex if I play that too much. So switching between the two of them has proven to be a good balance for me. We don't have to adhere to extremes all the time. It's not like you either have to play Overwatch every day or not at all. Play it for what it's worth to you. If that means an hour a day, then go for an hour a day. If you still love grinding away away every week, then go do that. And if you can't stand it at all, hell, go play something else if you think that they won't change. And seriously, I'm not saying you have to share my viewpoint, but ask yourself why the hell it even matters to you how popular Overwatch is. Is it less fun to play if it's not dethroning Fortnite? I mean, granted, as a content creator I should care, but as a player it really doesn't matter to me. With that said, I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. I know it's unpopular to actually have fun playing Overwatch in 2019, but I hope you consider some of the points I covered today. But whether you agree or disagree, feel free to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. While you're down there, don't forget to drop me a like on your way out if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you want to see more, and check out my meme montages by following the codes on screen right now. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.